Hare Krishna. We need to be at least slightly out of ignorance to recognize that we are in ignorance. When a person is a little drunk, that person recognizes, oh, now I'm drunk, so I need to be careful. I maybe I'll fall down somewhere, or if I have to drive home, I can't drive. Not only will I get a ticket, I'll go for driving under intoxication, DUI, but I might cause an accident. I might kill someone. So there is at least some amount of awareness that is there when a person is slightly drunk. But when a person is totally drunk, then a friend says, you cannot drive now. Who says I can't drive? I can drive. I'm okay. And the person cannot even say, I'm okay. The person cannot even speak properly, and then still that person thinks I'm okay. So, a characteristic of deep ignorance is ignorance of ignorance. So when a person is too drunk, that person doesn't even recognize that I'm drunk. So similarly, when tamoguna, the mode of ignorance, becomes too strong, at that time, we too, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, aprakasho apravrittischa pramado mohe vacha tamassetani jayante viruddhe kurunandana. In 14.13 he says, aprakasho apravrittischa. There is neither proper illumination nor pravritti, nor proper action. One doesn't think or see clearly, nor does one act properly. Pramado moha evacha. One is distracted, one is maddened. Moha, one is deluded. Tamasya etani jayante. When the mode of ignorance becomes prominent, this is what happens. So now, we sometimes, when we are going off track, say we want to follow certain principles, we want to live in a particular way, and when we start going off track, when we go a little off track, we start recognizing something is wrong. But sometimes we get so off track, we get so caught by the current of the mind's ideas, the mind's schemes, the mind's dreams, we just get completely carried away. So so what we need to do is not just we can't avoid the mind's currents, because the mind has so many impressions, and because of those impressions being present, the mind is going to get carried away to some extent. The mind is going to propel us with great force. We may not be able to resist or reject that force, but what we can do is we can ensure that there are some obstacles on the path. That means that if we periodically make sure that we are doing some kind of spiritual activities, say for example, we have a daily discipline of meditational practices. So then these activities, just to do these activities, we have to pull ourselves out of ignorance. And just by doing these outside activities, we are pulled out of ignorance. So this is a combination. If we are too lost in ignorance, we won't feel like studying scripture, won't feel like doing meditation, we won't feel like doing any of these things at all. But if we have made a commitment that I have to do this, then that commitment, and recognize that commitment will force us to do those activities, and that sense of honor underlying the commitment, when it forces us to do the activities, then naturally we will introspect and we will think, okay, what's wrong? Something. Why am I feeling so? Why am I feeling so? Why am I feeling so distorted? That I am finding as unattractive. That I am finding as, in fact, as utterly uninteresting. That which is so important and so relishable. That indicates that my consciousness has got really distorted. Sarvarthan viparitamsha buddhi sa parthatamasi. Krishna says the characteristic of intelligence in the mode of ignorance is that it perceives everything upside down. Sarvarthan viparitamsha. So, because of this, we need to recognize that we as souls are prone to ignorance, and we need to, and we may get so carried away by ignorance that we may not even realize that we are in ignorance. That's why we need to at least slightly be out of ignorance to realize that we are ignorance, and then to correct that ignorance, to counter and correct that ignorance. So therefore, forcibly committing ourselves to do ignorance countering activities, to do transcendence cultivating activities, such as the activities of bhakti, such as meditation, such as scriptural study. These activities will protect us from being consumed by ignorance. And further, as we do these activities more and more, initially it is only when we are deep down in ignorance that we start realizing, oh, now I'm drowning in ignorance, I have to be careful. But as we become purified by the consistent practice of bhakti, then as soon as ignorance starts touching us, then we will understand, hey, something's going wrong here. I have to immediately do course correction. I have to come back on track and avoid getting consumed, getting contaminated. So if we can protect, if we can become aware of ignorance, illusion, temptation, misdirection, when it just starts contaminating us, then we are much safer, then we won't go off track, and then we will be protected from the possibility of being consumed by ignorance entirely. Will be entirely protected from it. So thus, by creating breaks, we can force ourselves to at least come a little out of ignorance, and then realize that we are in ignorance, and then by practicing bhakti come properly out of ignorance towards transcendence. Thank you. Hare Krishna.